You ever want to switch out your phone case design but don't want to spend a lot of money on buying new phone cases that you will not use after a couple of uses for a few months? Well, here's how I turn one single clear phone case into a bunch of phone cases that I do rotation out whenever I feel like it. And I do this using old stickers and junk items that I have collected from packaging, making it way more affordable and cost effective because I have hoarded stickers. A lot of people have probably hoarded stickers, and we can use those stickers for the greater good. So what are you gonna need for this project? Well, personally, I use these supplies. Stickers, obviously. I like to use sticker books that I have previously bought from AliExpress. I no longer shop there. I'm just using up what I already have. But if you're trying to get stickers for yourself and you don't have any, yeah, I would recommend buying them secondhand. Sounds a little strange, right? But there are a lot of people trying to sell off bulk sticker collections and a lot of sticker sheets on places like Mercari secondhand. And a lot of sellers have a lot of stickers, so you could just ask them to bundle them all up, like pick the ones you like. And shipping for stickers and flat envelopes are way more affordable than bigger items on Mercari because the shipping is quite substantial, I will say, as a seller and a buyer there. Not sponsored, by the way, I just buying secondhand. But yeah, save waste, help other people get their stuff out, and you can get it at a good deal. Also, you could buy them if there is a Daiso nearby you. Or what I like to do is go to dead stock stores, and they have really cheap stickers there for also a great price, under $2 usually. And I use tweezers because that's helpful for visualizing designs. I use the packaging from a sticker sheet in order to place my stickers into a pile where I can visualize a design using the stickers that I have selected. I also use glue tape, which works great as an adhesive that doesn't leave bumps like other glue sticks or liquid glue does. I also like to use, a pencil and paper for tracing out the phone case shape of the clear phone case. You also will need a clear phone case. And lastly, I do save any junk or cardboard packaging I receive from food, stickers, anything that's cute. I put into a folder to use for these phone case projects. And you also don't necessarily need stickers. You could also just draw your phone case yourself without buying stickers, and that was completely doable too. I just like the scrapbooking aspect of art. Now let's get to actually working on our phone case. So here are a few samples of previous phone cases I've made. I've made 6 phone cases in total. One of them is the first one, and the first one looks the worst, so we ignore that one. The rest of them get progressively better. Trust me. The first thing I do when I want to make a phone case insert is that I trace the shape of my old phone case inserts on scrap paper. Always scrap paper, because I always have scrap paper around, and let's use it for the greater good. And when I first did this, it took a lot of trial and error, but it's worth it. After that, I think of a theme. So today we are doing blue and white angels. Angels? Why angels? Oh, I'm glad you asked, because everything I do is about angels nowadays. Oh my gosh, half of my channel is literally about drawing angels. Most of my videos are me drawing angels because that's my one joy in life. So I'm thinking blue and white specifically because of J Fashion. I want to do like a Tenchi Kawaii design where it's blue and white. This whole project took me like 3 hours. I normally can lock in on a phone case. If I'm locked in, I can guys? Hello? Always cats fighting inside my window. Anyhow, so I'm sifting through my folders here to find anything that could suit my theme. I'm going for white and blue, right? But I also want to put electronics in it, cutouts of bones, angel wings, hearts, stuff like that. So the first file I'm sifting through is this Haribo candy gummies folder. It's divided into 5, and just for extra storage, in case I want to separate things by specific products I have ideas for. And in that folder is mainly the backgrounds, the base papers that I start my phone insert designs on. That's all that's mostly in there. I do save every part. If I cut something up, it will go back into these folders. Nothing will be wasted. The second folder is Sumuko Gurashi, strawberry themed, and in this folder are mostly sticker sheets that I have received for free, or orders that I've bought things from have just come with them. There's also some that I've bought too, but I don't buy sticker sheets as much because sometimes they can get pretty costly. Anyhow, that's all that's in there. A lot of my items in my folders are from 5 years ago too. They're pretty old. The next folder, which is the Jinbei-san folder with whales on it, I only keep pieces from packaging in here, so most of the packaging pieces are from figurines I've bought, meals I have 8 albums I bought, a lot of sticker packaging, and other assorted things. Like washi tape, toys, clothing tags, just anything that looks cute I use. However, I'm selective with which cardboard thicknesses go into this pile for usage because if a cardboard piece is too thick, it will not fit into your phone case and will bulge out and won't make your phone case fit on your phone, right? But there are some that are thick enough to where you're able to peel them apart with an X-Acto knife and just take the top paper layer of the cardboard and use that for a design. So I only choose the cardboards that are thick enough to be peeled or thin enough to not make my phone case pop out. The last folder is all my K-pop sticker inclusions that I've gotten. The front of the folder is also used for stickers that I was about to use for a project, but when I was actually composing the sticker insert, I decided not to use it. So I just leave it all in the front of this folder because I can just re-peel it off and then use glue tape to tape it back on, and so nothing goes to waste. I spent an insane amount of time looking for background papers because I have 0 blue background papers. But most of my background papers are gifted by people I've known because they have way too much stationery items that they never use. That's where I come in. The quickest I've done one of these has been 1 hour if I'm really in the flow state, but I was not today. I really struggled with this one so badly because none of my stickers are in this theme at all. So I had to rack my brain and make it. Hi, voiceover Winnie here. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, please. You might struggle a bit with composing your own designs, so let me show you some of my past designs so I can point out some composition ideas that I use that maybe you could take. So for this, the first one, it's the green melon one. When there are awkward spaces, I often use diagonal duplicate stickers. So for example, there's 3 of the same or very similar looking sticker here, and I've put them diagonally across and it fills up this very awkward space. I also use a similar technique for the bubbles in this same phone case by making them curve. I don't know how you would describe that, but yeah, they curve inwards, and then also the cucumber stars. They're like the same sticker essentially, but I just placed them so that they would draw your attention there. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I love doing rows of similar looking stickers. Like on this New Jeans phone case, there are 3 very similar looking star stickers. Don't be afraid to layer in your composition because I used a lot of layering in the New Jeans phone case and in the melon phone case. In this fish phone case, not as much, but you can see that there is a bit of it. The fish one is probably my least favorite out of these 4, and the melon one is probably my favorite out of them. But the new phone case I made today in this video is a pretty high contender for a favorite too. So I'll just be thinking about it more. Think about what's my favorite. Anyways, back to me making the phone case. Basically, I'm just gluing on all the pieces I've decided to pick. A lot of the process of making or composing one of these designs is just me fiddling around a lot. That was what was happening for the past 2 hours before this. So not including that footage because there's nothing to give, no commentary to give on that. I was just moving things around, and I would re-stick them onto the clear plastic sticker, empty sticker sheet that I talked about before, and I would just peel it on and off, and it doesn't matter if the sticker loses its stickiness because I'm just gonna tape glue it back on after. So I kept fiddling with that, and after I put all the stickers on, I cut the edges with an X-Acto knife. You could do it with scissors too, that would work as well. And while I'm gluing down the rest of my additions to my design, I want to take the time to talk about my last video because it has hit over 3K views in less than a week, and that's never happened to me before at all. I tried to film a separate video thanking whatever algorithm, however these people got here, however you got here, but I'm not gonna post it. It's basically me like almost crying. Anyhow, thank you to the viewer, you, for being here and sticking around. And thank you to the algorithm for blessing me because my videos never do that well. I have been hitting under 50 views on long-term videos for the past, I don't even know how long. It's been a while, and this is a really big shift from my other video, but I'm planning on doing both of these styles of content. I just want to do art themed things that have my interests, so art rants, art videos with rants, and art videos that are just about art. I want to do both of those things. But yeah, thank you for being around, and I look forward to reading your guys' comments every time you do comment because that makes my day. There used to be a time where I wouldn't see any numbers change, so I was really stagnant. I was like, oh, there's a comment today, and there would be a comment. But yeah, I get to wake up to comments almost every day now. That's really great. So anyways, while I was pasting these 2 characters for my phone case design, there's two of them in this design. The stickers ended up being really transparent and were overlaying with the background too much. I ended up putting them on pieces of paper and then cutting that out to make them less transparent, because it was bothering me, and it turned out to be way better than I thought after I did that. Anyways, so I continue gluing on my pieces to fill the extra awkward spots that I think needed some sprucing up, and I found this clothing tag from this brand called 6 Dimension, which I've bought from twice. So I have two of their clothing tags. I put one on my corkboard, and then the other one I ripped apart with an X-Acto knife, and then I peeled off the paper part just to put as a background for my phone case here. Their brand is so cute. If you're interested in like whimsy looking clothes or just unique clothes in general by an independent place, then you should check them out. Very pretty clothes, however they are out of my budget. I've bought two things from them that I'll put on screen. This tie and this long sleeve shirt. A long sleeve shirt is pretty tight fitting, and I hate clothes that are tight fitting, so I only wear it if I'm doing fun shit, like going to the mall alone, because going to the mall alone is underrated. My sibling will dog on me for that. Like, you go to the mall alone? That's no fun. That's so sad. I'm not sad. You know how many times I've gone to the mall with other people and I felt sadder? See? I win. I win. Okay, anyhow, unrelated to all of this, I love their brand. Check it out. And also, relating to my last video, please watch it because it has a lot to do with this story. So in my last video, I didn't talk a lot about my parents' current relationship with me because that had no real correlation to the story of our past, because, you know, really separate events happened, and that's an even longer story. That is more personal that I'm not willing to tell. But basically, at the end of that video, the gist of it was that we are on better terms now, way better terms, and I no longer live a super restricted life. As per the title, How I Lived with Strict Parents. Wow! And yeah, I don't live with that anymore. I kept it kind of vague about how me and my parents' relationship is now, but it's pretty neutral. I don't get yelled at. Hooray! And yeah, it's peaceful. Anyways, I also think I mentioned a few videos ago, I don't know, in the past, one of the past 3 videos, I have mentioned that I have been a seller on Mercari and I've been making money, been getting my cash. I told my parents and I was like, guys, I made $500. What do you think? And they were like, okay. And then I walked away to go to sleep. And that was it. I was low-key a little bummed because like my parents don't comment on things like that, and then there's a lot of unrelated factors I didn't talk about at all in the last video that makes me feel like I'm a disappointment to my family. It makes it hard to sleep sometimes. Anyhow, I still have to live with that, unfortunately, but today me and my cousin went to go eat food together because I was dropping stuff off at the post office, and now I have my own money and I am justified in buying a single expensive drink. So I did that. I hardly do this because I just suffer at home without sweets, even though I need sweets to live. I'm a sugar junkie. And then they were telling me that my parents had gossiped to their parents, and I was like, ooh, tell me, I want to know. And they were like, well, your mom told us about your side hustle and how proud they are of you. I'm like, what? Proud of me? Are we serious? They didn't tell me crap because they didn't. They were just nodding at me when I told them. They were like, oh, okay. And that was it. That's all they told me. And then, you know, I don't know. I'm just shocked that they were even proud of me for that because I have a lot of pressure. I have an unbelievable pressure on my shoulders to be successful in life because my parents are really old. They're working past retirement for me and my siblings. So I have to do well. Like, if I don't succeed in life, well, the family line was already going to be over, but the family line would be doomed. It would be even more doomed than doomed, okay? We would have big problems. So I was like, oh my gosh, parents are proud of me? My Asian parents? That's a joke. But that was interesting. I still have a lot of other pressures to do with, so I don't have the capacity to feel super ecstatic about this, but you know what? A win is a win. Anyways, back to actually working on this film project. In these next few clips, I'm just putting the clothing tag that I spoke about earlier and putting that on, gluing it onto the phone case, and then I'm finishing up. That's it. It took a lot of thinking. Like, I took an insane amount of time on this project, but if you put your mind to it, it will be done. Anyhow, I don't have a CD of the day because I don't know, no CD for today. Maybe you guys can recommend me some CDs of the day that I've been doing since my 3rd video on the channel. I don't know, but today's song, I guess, is Pony Boy by Sophie. Yeah, that's the song of the day! Sorry, that's all. Maybe next video will be a yap video. Maybe I will alternate. And the next craft video I am thinking of doing is deco photo cards with handmade photo card holder stands. That's cute. I've done them a couple of times before with clay, so I can always do that again. You have a good day, and I'll see you around. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video.